I feel cherished and adored regardless of a man or not. Um, and then, what that is like being cherished and adored by a partner, what that
Okay.
means.
Yeah, this is a great topic for you. So, two things. One, which I want to highlight your phenomenal growth. You're feeling cherished and adored, whether a man is in the photo or not.
Yeah.
So this is the module 2. This is you wrapping up the tail end of that lesson.
Mm.
This is you knowing that you are worthy. You can show up with needs, with wants, with desires. And it's okay. And it's now about moving towards people who have similar desires and wants. Yeah, let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
The story is going to be really good, I promise. And very embarrassing for me. He lives off grid. There's not a running toilet there. During summer, fine, there's the outdoors. During winter, when it's cold, the outdoors is not as available as an option.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a question of, do I use the bathroom upstairs or downstairs? For him, he was out of like a 20-year marriage with a lot of daughters. So he was always putting the women before himself. He just had a desire of, I actually want to feel like a woman is willing to accommodate me for once. I want you to pee downstairs.
Oh man.
So you could see why that's acceptable for him to desire that. Yes, that wasn't a need, I need this or else I'll die, right?
Right.
It wasn't even a want. I want to eat pancakes tonight. It was a desire. I desire to feel like the man. That is what we've been talking about before as a preference. So do you see how this is at your stage of you owning preferences?
Yeah, I see that. I definitely see that.
I prefer a man who likes to go shopping. I prefer a man who likes to travel. I prefer a man who's homebound. I prefer a wealthy man. I prefer a man who thinks his money is our money and my money is my money. Like whatever it is. It's when you own that last little preference. That's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you who you really are. Okay. So for those people who aren't quite at conscious stage where she's at, just because that's a desire of Chris's, it doesn't mean I have to do it, right? Just because I do it once or twice, which I did, I realized I didn't like it. When I went downstairs, I was like, wait, the temperature difference from upstairs to downstairs is like 20 degrees. No, I'm not waking up in the middle of the night to go downstairs into like 40-degree weather where your dogs are and they come up to me and they lick my face. So you can see how he has his desire, but you could also see how mine might be a need, a want, or a desire to like kind of pee in peace, right? This is so embarrassing. It's coming down now to so he has a need to feel like the women in his life are willing to accommodate him, whether it's carried out by the act of where I pee or not. I have a need to feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
How do you get those two together so we both win-win? That's what you're moving towards, Concha, is that win-win.
Right. Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm really figuring out, right? Is okay, well, how does this turn into a win-win and all that good stuff, right? So
Okay.
totally.
So first, the first thing you got to learn, yeah, huge congratulations for where you're at in your development. This is awesome. This is exciting. Is
Yeah, it
is that
is.
sometimes you just have to admit that that's your preference, right?
Yeah.
So Chris and I obviously have a little bit of a situation that we have a choice to find a win-win, which could look like him going, listen, I just really want to feel cherished and adored myself. And the fact that you were willing to like kind of, like go downstairs, it did make me feel like you would be someone who can like really be there and do 50-50 and all the work wouldn't be on me. But maybe like, what if you tended to like a garden, or what if you did this? But like he could find other ways to get that need met. Or Concha, he could just say, no, you know what? I do have a preference for a woman who's willing to pee downstairs and not even mention anything about it to me. If there's something uncomfortable about it to her, she'll figure it out.
Right, right.
Because I could go get myself, like, I don't, this is so fucking awkward. Okay, I won't go into details, but I can make it more comfortable for myself, right? I could go buy a heater and bring it over and heat it. I'd have to buy my own propane.
Yeah. Mhm.
I could build something for myself. I could ask him to build something for myself. Hey, I didn't have a comfortable time down there last night. Do you think you could build something like this for me? I'll buy the material, right?
Mhm.
But then I also might have a preference for, no, screw you. I'm coming off grid. I have a strong desire for the man to make it comfortable for me. So it's about recognizing that at this stage, Concha, it's not about this person has a toxic trait, I'm out, right? Because that's what going from yuck to good is. This person yells at me,
Right.
they're abusive, I'm out. It could just be, you know what? Kelly wanted me to solve some of the problems that I didn't want to solve. I desire a woman who like could solve that kind of stuff on her own. So there's nothing wrong with you, Kelly. There's nothing wrong with me. We just have different preferences. So this is about you not needing a reason to justify, not needing a reason to explain, and not needing the other person to see and understand why you want what you want.
Mhm.
So you like when a guy takes you shopping, yeah?
Well, I don't necessarily want him to be like at the store with me. That feels weird, but definitely like give me like a spa treatment, or like my hair done, or like these. Yeah, I do like that stuff.
You also mentioned that was it that it felt like a one up to you, or that you were winning?
Yeah, it felt like I was winning if that happened. Yeah, like uh yeah. Well, I guess
Wait,
these are two different things, maybe.
yeah, well, this is exactly the clarity that you need. So
Yeah.
there's a part of you that feels like you're winning if a guy were to do that for you that you're romantically involved with.
Yeah.
So you have choices here, and this is becoming who you really are. You can, of course, go to the past to figure out why that's there, right? Maybe it's an inner child that never felt comfortable speaking up for things. And now it's like, yes, I do just want to be lavish with gifts. You could have overgiven in a previous relationship. And now you just want to, if it ends, you like knowing that you walked away with something.
Mhm.
Right, so there could be something from your past that you can heal, and like and the fact that you did use the words, I would feel like I'm winning, that does
Yeah.
indicate that there's potential growth there, right? Because relationships is supposed to be about win-win, not if it didn't work out, well, I feel like I won.
Right. And I understand that too. Like I totally I thought about that after I send the message of like, oh, well, it should be compatible, but yeah, I get that.
Okay, yes, so this is where you get a choice. You get to understand and go back and go, well, why do I feel like I need to win? Blah, 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 blah. It's going to boil down to no matter what it is, you feel safer.
Yeah.
Or instead of needing to understand where it came from, what memory it came
It's
from,
okay.
what childhood abuse it came from, and
Mhm.
be able to explain it to him. This is why it's such a big deal. You know, my parents never did that. So if you would do that, I'd feel really loved. Like, who the fuck cares?
Right, right.
Instead, if you just go, you know what? I do prefer that. I even said it with a little bit of tone in my voice. If you just, I do have a preference. Okay. Okay. How do I say this? There's a difference between coming from a subconscious shadow need, you need to buy me this or else I won't feel loved. There you go. Versus God, I it does feel good when my man buys me things that are just like luxury things. It's not a necessity, but it's just like a buy me something that is for the sake of pampering and for the sake of me just walking out feeling good and feeling like $1 million. It's just like God, I feel so loved, cherished, and adored. Do you see the difference between those two?
Yeah, I do see the difference.
Because the second one also gives the option for, I do kind of like it when the person I'm dating, like, I don't know, a spa treatment, a infrared sauna treatment, a hair blowout, help me get my nails done. I walk out with this euphoric high feeling. Then that lets them know like this thing makes me feel this way and gives me this result. And it also lets you be the one to give me that good feeling, right? Because that's most of the time why people give because they give to you so they could feel good.
Right, right, right.
It also creates freedom for him to hear your need, which is to get that euphoric feeling from the person you're dating. But it also gives him options to brainstorm.